and that he could laugh at himself. And he says it's another Aleppo moment when Chris Matthews asked him, "What world leader do you admire?" And he couldn't think of one. Okay, these are things that you have to know. Now, having spoken to a couple of thousand people at Queens College when I ran graduation for my school, okay, or talking to an auditorium filled with parents at the beginning of the year, you get a little nervous. I mean, it used to be that, I could do my classroom and everything, but the bottom line is you get a little nervous until you get started. But then there are always some things that you forget. You start to say something and you have to really think fast.
And then he said Shimon Peres, and Chris Matthews said he's dead.
Well, you see, the mistake that Matthews made was he didn't tell him living people. I mean, I would have said Shimon Peres too, but after he said that, I would have chosen the same person that Hillary chose, the same person that Governor Weld chose. Angela Merkel in Germany. She has kept Germany together through, everything that's going on in Europe.
Yeah. And she's having problems now, though.
Well, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
He should have said Putin.
Speaking of him, there seems to be more and more evidence that the hackers of the DNC and other areas of Congress were Russians, and which really, when you think about it, it lends credence to the argument that Mitt Romney raised in 2012. Remember when he and Obama were debating, and he told Obama, he said, "Our biggest threat are the Russian people." And Obama said, now of course you're going back 4 years. If you project it to now, he was right.
Not
with
the
everything
Russian
that
people.
Russian is doing. It's Putin.
Yeah.
It's Putin.
Yeah.
But what he's doing raises the feeling of nationality amongst the people. That's why he has such a high rating amongst the Russian people. Okay? That's why he can say that 82% of the people of Russia support him in everything that he's doing.
Yeah.
It wasn't so long ago that, before he came into power, the Russians, were beginning to second guess, shall we say, whether democracy was for them, and free enterprise and capitalism,
Well, now Russia's got some of the richest people in the world. They got plenty of billionaires now.
Speaking of billionaires, what do you think of the ruling in Congress? President Obama vetoed a decision that would allow 9/11 families to sue or bring court action against Saudi Arabia.
Basically, it's not against Saudi, it's other countries.
Right.
But it is against
Saudi. It
Saudi.
just so happened that all of the pilots and all of the people involved were all from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, and there's evidence that some low-level government people were promoting this.
And he, what Obama said was that it sets a bad precedent because, where do you draw the line? He also made it seem like the families were acting more out of greed. He said, the average government payout to the victims' families was $2 million, depending upon how old the person was, how many dependents they had, what their, if they were older, they would have had X number of years left to work anyway.
Well, Obama should remember he should also not be paying ransom to release prisoners.
Well, as I have to say that and I'm a big supporter of our president, okay? But the way that all worked out, it just, you can't help but think that to the average American looking at this, when the country says we don't pay, we don't pay terrorists, we don't pay ransom, that's exactly what it looked like.
It was.
And no matter how you try to talk it back, it's almost like Trump trying to talk back something with his foot in his mouth. Okay, in that case, the government was really wrong the way it came out.
Of course it was, because they paid it in cash, unmarked bills, all different countries, all different denominations. Come on,
hey, listen, you were in transportation. You know what those things look like, that you vacuum seal packaged and everything. You know,
it was just too, and then the pilot, one of the pilots said, "We're not taking off till the other plane comes in." That's what it was. And then that was the $400 million. Then they brought in another 1 point something billion there in cash.
Yeah, they claimed that all this money was Iranian money that was being held from 1978 and 1980 when they set up the embargo against Iran after they held our people from our embassy.
Yeah, it was during the Shah of Iran made the purchases. It was never delivered, and then everything that happened, they just held the money. And I don't think it should go. The U.S. should have kept it. They made the deal with the Shah of Iran, not the.
Well, he's dead already.
So, it's like everything else.
In fact, when you think about it.
Like people do, like all these companies that do with insurance money.
With the passing of Shimon Peres the other day, all of the important people, minus Jimmy Carter, are all dead now. Those who signed the peace agreement.
Yeah.
Arafat is gone. Sadat is gone. Shimon Peres is gone.
Now this funeral Obama was going to.
Oh, it was today. It was today.
Yeah, he went to it.
Looks pretty good in the yarmulke.
And also somebody from from Palestine came, or the West Bank or somewhere. One of the leaders came in also.
I don't know. I didn't see it on the news, but look. I'm sure there's no reason for them not to. That was back in the day. That was the big peace treaty. Israel and Egypt.
And it's funny, through all these years, Egypt has kept it.
Well, they were talking on the news because they were talking about what's the possibility of Bill Clinton playing a role in foreign affairs as an ambassador in the Middle East. Not an ambassador, but, trying to facilitate a peace agreement between the Israelis and the Palestinians. That's the one thing that seemed to evade him during his pregnancy. During his presidency.
Pregnancy, you say?
Yeah. During his presidency.
Okay, I think we got a caller.
We have a caller.
I think we know who it is.
Do we? I don't know.
Good evening, I guess. It is evening.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey.
How's the weather in Florida?
No, that's.
Oh, I'm enjoying
that's
it.
Naj. That's Naj. He's in Atlanta.
Yeah. That's right. 404 is Atlanta. My mind is not working.
How you doing? I was hoping.
All right, man. Yeah, it's finally changing up here. It's finally getting a little cool. Not hot.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
Too.
Same here. In fact, I even told my wife. I said, if it stays like this, I'm going to change over my clothes, put the summer stuff away, and get the sweaters out and sweatshirts and long pants.
You're sitting outside.
Time, man.
Are you sitting outside now and having a beer?
Indeed. Yes, I am.
That's good. That's good. It's always a pleasure to have you on, Naj. Always.
Same here, man. Thanks for letting me on. It's good talking with you guys, man. It's
Yeah.
always interesting on here.
So, what do you think about the debate on Monday?
Everything that we talked about a couple of months ago that would happen is what happened. So there were no surprises. He was unprepared. He's really not ready to handle some of these foreign issues. He's really not good at policy. We said he would talk over her. We said that might not look good to some people, and it didn't. His best thing going is the fact that he has personality. We said she would be a policy wonk who has no charisma, who can speak well to things but can't deliver them at all, and that's what happened in my mind. What you guys think?
Well, I tell you, he did constantly keep harping on the fact that she's a Washington politician who for 30 years hasn't done much to change what's going on in Washington. So what makes people think she's going to do anything as president? He was right about that. He was right on the money. He was right about trade. The first 20 minutes of the debate, he really had her against the ropes. Sort of reminded me of Ali, doing a little rope-a-dope. That she was floundering and couldn't figure out what she wanted to say next. And then all of a sudden, it's like, she just took over after that.
Yeah. She woke up. She started.
Well, she wanted to punch him in the face because all that trade stuff he's talking are things you can't do. Like, you can't walk in and renegotiate those deals. NAFTA, GATT, those deals are binding.
Not to mention
TPP, it's binding as well, and that's the trouble.
You're
but
right.
You can't say that.
Well, it's not to mention the fact that who was instrumental in pushing NAFTA through to Congress? Whose administration was it?
Her husband.
That's right.
Her husband.
So I mean, it's like slapping her in the face and calling Bill, any kind of name you want to call him, and then when he starts talking about replacing the generals, he can't do that. He can't just fire a bunch of generals.
Right. Yeah, that kind of stuff is really hilarious. When people start talking about how they're gonna go to bat against the military, no, that's not how that works. You get in there and you have a problem with the military, then they're going to cause problems for you throughout. They're going to make sure everything goes through the bureaucracy as slow as possible and bide their time until they can get you out of there. But no, you're not going to come into office and kick the military around. That's not how it works. You have to respect them, and you also have to understand there's a whole lot you don't know, and they will be really slow to inform you if you come on their bad side. So that's really not a plausible thing for a politician to say. But if it'll get him claps, he'll say it. You know what I mean? That's pretty much where we are right now.
Hey, listen, everything that everybody says is a lot of bull. Hillary, well, she's saying debt-free education. What does that actually mean? What is
right?
But
what
even
is the process for getting to that? Right.
But even more than that, suppose you're a person in your 30s and you're still paying back college loans. I mean, it was about 6 years ago that I remember President Obama saying that he and Michelle had just finished paying off their college loans, and they were in their 40s. And a lot of their money came from scholarships and grants. So if they were in their 40s and still paying it back, what do you do with people who are paying back loans now? Okay, they're not going to be grandfathered in. The banks and the institutions are going to expect to get their money. This would only be for people as of, 2018 maybe? Not even 2017. Who knows? 2018.
Nothing's going to happen with that.
No, I know that, but
it's not going to happen.
I know, but
there's no way anybody's going to be anything like debt-free education. Well, actually, debt-free. What does that mean? She's not saying it's free, but it's debt.
No, it means tuition-free. You still have to pay for your books. They're not going to pay for your books.
She didn't say tuition-free. Never did.
Well, debt free